Facebook. Here is another edition of Carlock Confessions. It is on Tuesday, July 23rd. Due to some scheduling changes, we are airing on Tuesdays now. So for at least a little while, maybe the same going forward. Till those schedule changes and things work themselves out, right now we're going to be airing on Tuesdays. So welcome to the show. Hopefully you guys are excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. Carlock Confessions is my passion. It is what I look forward to every week. Hopefully you guys do too. I hoping we get a big crowd tonight on the show. It's always more exciting with the more people we have. So if you'd like, please go ahead and share this video if you're on. And let's see if we can get as many people as possible to be on the show tonight. One of the new things I've added here is some lighting. Hopefully that helps out in regards to being able to see me and making sure that I'm fully visible on camera. Also want to go out there and throw out that we are now on YouTube as well. So please make sure you guys check out the channel on YouTube. Subscribe to it if you can. Check it out. Share it with your friends. Trying to get a wider reach out there so we can continue to grow this Carlock Confessions community. Again, being the change, positiveness, this is what we're trying to promote. The more people we can get involved, the better off we're going to be. So hopefully you guys agree. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll go ahead and wait for a couple people to jump on here. Excited for the show tonight. Hopefully you guys are too. It's going to be a great show. We got a lot of content, a lot of things to cover. Super excited about it. It's going to be a great show tonight. Looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. So again, super excited to be on YouTube. Make sure you guys check that out. Super glad this show is continuing to grow. We're getting more viewers, reaching out to more people, all of those types of things, which is really great. I really do want this to be a success and be a success for the people that are involved and for this community. Just because, you know, it really can, I think it can make a difference. And that's really what I'm looking forward to here is things making a difference. So let me know if you guys agree. Go ahead and I can see chat. You guys are part of the show. That's why we do this show. It's always better when you guys are on. I may be the host, Frank Vanzoni, but you guys are really the reason this show exists and really what makes this show great. So go ahead and leave comments during and throughout the show. Continue to the discussion. There'll be times for you guys to actually chime in as well. And that is what the show is about. So go ahead and make sure you guys are on live. Hopefully you guys turn the notifications on so that way you know we're live tonight on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday. But it looks, hopefully you guys will be on and you guys got that notification on. So make sure. All right, so turn on the notification buttons. All right, so as we're going to hang out here for a couple more minutes, but a couple more things to update you guys on. I do the challenge, we're going to get into that, all these segments that we do. If you guys can think of new segments or new things that you'd like to have on the show, please feel free to message me or put them in the comments somewhere because I can always use your ideas, and I think, you know, collaborative minds make a better experience, and we can get better results. So if you guys have any ideas that you'd like to share, any questions you'd like to have for our question or poll question of the night, open question for the night, anything that you see as a news article that you guys would like to have a part of the show as well. And, of course, if the weekly challenges, if you guys have a weekly challenge that you guys would like to see have promoted on the show or something that you'd like to throw out there to see if people will accept the challenge and do it, please let me know. You guys can always contact me through Facebook, through YouTube now as well. And I look forward to seeing those because those challenges and those things that you guys come up with will also help me. And I love to get you guys as much involved as possible as well. So let me know what you guys think. I think it would be really great to do that. So let me know. And if you guys have any great ideas, make sure you guys share them, okay? All right, so with that said, we'll go ahead and get going on with the show here a little bit more. But welcome to the show. So glad to have everybody here. Right now, we have the poll question of the night. It was posted earlier. The poll question of the night is on the page, so make sure you guys go and click on that. Make sure you guys vote, so that way we get a nice average of what people like. Tonight's poll question was inspired by an event that happened on this day back in 1903. 1903, Ford Motor Company sold its first automobile, which was the Model A. Here in Michigan, which is where I'm broadcasting from, there's always that age-old question. You hear everybody say it. Are you Ford or are you Chevy? And there's a great divide here, especially in the Motor City and in the Motor State of Michigan. So go ahead and cast your votes. We casted ours. So it's up there. Make sure you guys do that for me so we can go ahead and get a good representation of what the car lot community feels. But it is the age-old question, Ford or Chevy. So go ahead and make sure you guys do it.
That was easy.
And I look forward to you guys doing that. I don't want to hear crickets in the chat, by the way, too. Make sure you guys are commenting in the chat. I can see when you guys do, so make sure that you guys do see it, okay? All right, with that said, we'll review last week's poll. If you guys saw that and did that, last week's poll was based on a fact from last week as well. That was on the 17th of July, but back in 2002, the second generation iPod was released by Apple to the public, which was what prompted last week's poll. In last week's poll, there was a total results for that. Drum roll. Of course, Apple took everything. 83% of you guys said Apple was everything. Android, 17%. There was 12 votes total. Not a lot of you, but the total results, though, do show that Apple was the higher one. So, hi, Justin. Welcome to the show. So glad you could be on tonight. Hopefully, you got the notification that we were live. The schedule has changed. We are on Tuesdays now for a while, but I'm so glad that you're here. You always add so much great content to the show. Thank you for coming. I applaud you for being here. Thanks so much. Glad to have you. Right now, we're covering the poll questions. We have the poll question that we posted for the night in regards to Ford or Chevy, age-old question here in Michigan for sure, being the Motor City and the Motor State. And then we were reviewing last week's about Apple and Android. Of course, Apple beats out. I'm an Apple guy. It seems like most of the people here were as well. So those were the poll questions of the night. Again, guys, if you have any poll questions you'd like to have asked on the show, I'm more than happy to take your suggestions, and I'll go ahead and put them up so we can go ahead and get a car lot community kind of breakdown on what your poll question would be and go ahead and get an idea of what they would think. So if you have one, please feel free to share it in the chat or make sure to share it on the page. You guys can always reach me again on YouTube and on Facebook. So, guys, let me know what you think. Feel free to go ahead and comment in there. I'm looking forward to it, guys. So, great content on the show tonight. A lot of stuff to cover. I'm so glad everybody could be here. The news article was posted, as it always is. Hopefully, you guys read it. It was a pretty good, short article. I try to keep them short for you guys so they're not too busy. But the news article tonight that's going to be discussed was the one that was posted yesterday. It's about Lenny Kravitz and what he says about his ex-wife's husband, Jason Momoa, who's a very big star right now in the public eye for Aquaman and being in the Justice League movies and all of that. He seems to be a big celebrity right now out in the public. But what Lenny Kravitz says in there is that he's like a brother. He gives him a lot of praise in regards to his family and being part of that family. So the reason why this is kind of a controversial topic, the reason why I bring it up, I read this article real quick and I thought, wow, this really resonates with a lot of stuff that's going on today in regards to blended families. Blended families is kind of a big deal. Divorce rates are higher than they've ever been. And more families are being blended these days. I have a blended family. I had a blended family growing up. And so there's a lot of things about this article that resonated with me. If you guys read it, please go ahead and let me know. Comment in the chat for me. I can see chat. So if you guys have any comments about the news article as we discuss it, feel free to put them in there. I'll read them as well. Oh, and if anybody, before we get started, if you guys like my T-shirt, this was a T-shirt I got for our 20th class reunion that I just had. I had graduated from Royal Oak Don Darrow. We were the Don Darrow Oaks, established in 1999, and we were the Royal Oak Oaks. It was really great to have this shirt. It was put together for the reunion. I want to go ahead and promote that real quick. It's a great shirt. I'm glad to wear it. If you guys have any shirts or anything, suggestions as well that you'd like me to promote on the show, please feel free to let me know. Or feel free to send me a shirt if you'd like it showcased on the show as well. All right, so back to the news article as well. So again, Lenny Kravitz says ex-wife's husband, Jason Momoa, is like a brother and praises him as beautiful with the blended family. This is, again, I have a blended family. it takes work to blend a family, and that's what this article is about. They had to work on it. They worked on it together. All parties involved had to work on it. It's super important to do so for the kids. You know, the kids are the ones that really have to see this kind of stuff. More often than not, money and problems from the relationship continue to linger around, and selfish thinking usually gets involved in regards to the fights that are ensued between husband and wife, and soon to be ex-husband and soon to be ex-wife, and then exes in general. I've been through it. I've been divorced. I'm married the second time around. I got it right this time, as far as I believe. She's my soulmate. We get along really well. We have a blended family. She had brought kids into the family into this marriage. I brought kids into this marriage, and we realized going into this that you don't marry just the person, you marry their life, and blend in together. So it's a great story on putting work in as becoming friends with your ex and how important it is with the kids themselves. This is, again, relevant these days because more and more families are blended. And it's situations like this that are more common now because the divorce rate is so high. The importance of this, though, is, again, to the kids, and the kids to see what marriage is and what people should act like, even if they don't necessarily get along or agree on everything. It's very impressionable. A lot of kids will base their own lives and their own relationships on how it is their parents have their relationships. Now, I get that it doesn't always work. Again, I'm divorced. I've been there. I've been through it. Every relationship I'd been through up to this point has had some sort of ugly breakup. I can admit to that. Court battles and custody battles and all of that kind of stuff. And there's things I regret in mine. Personal confession. There's some things I regret, maybe not necessarily always putting the kids first as I probably should have and what I'm trying to promote here. But it is difficult, and I realize that we have to understand to take difficult situations and turn them into positive, especially for our youth today. So let me know what you guys think about that. Think about the article as well. You know, the issue with most of the time why there seems to be fights is because there's a lack of respect for one another, and they touch base on that in regards to this article about how respect is key and respecting each other as adults and their opinions and their thoughts and their desires and their wants. If you can keep a certain level of respect, you should be able to keep a certain level of level-headedness to you, be able to cohabitate, get along. Those things are important, especially for kids to see. It does not take blood to be a mother or father. We've talked about this before. When you come into a blended family who has kids, you are taking on a specific role in their lives. There's importance to that. And to realize that importance, and for each parent from the original relationship has to understand that the new people that are brought into their kids' lives are have a certain level of responsibility and involvement, and again, the family continues to grow. Perfect example, I have a stepmother, married my father. They've been together for a long time. They are a great, I think, view of what a relationship should be. Didn't work out with my mother and father, my biological parents, and that happens, but you know, the second time around, I feel like my dad got it right. They've been together so long, and it's great to see a great, healthy relationship. Now, of course, they have problems of their own, and all relationships do, but they work through it. And they do have a really healthy relationship that I would like to kind of emulate a little bit as well. They do some things really right. I think they love each other, and they truly care about how each other feels. And you know, they work it out. They've both been there as well. They both were divorced as well, my stepmom and my dad. I believe they were both married and divorced as well. And so that plays a factor, I think. They understand that, you know, what it takes to make a marriage now. I did that the first time. I didn't know maybe all that much. We didn't blend as well. I do know from my mistakes, I guess, or from my situations or things I've battled in the past on how to make things better. Takes commitment, takes desire, it takes want, it takes work. And the key here is work. And I think that's what the problem is. This article focuses on how it takes work. And I think people are afraid of that work sometimes. So here are some statistics real quick in regards to divorce. 42 to 45% of first marriages actually end in divorce. Before we get into any more facts, I just want to state where my facts are from. My facts come from a place online, McKinleyIrvin.com, which is a family law site in which they put facts together from multiple sites, but mine came straight from them, so I want you to know. And if you want to fact check me, you can. McKinleyIrvin.com is where I got my facts from. 42 to 45% of first marriages end in divorce. I'm a part of that. My first marriage did. My wife's first marriage did. My parents' first marriage ended. I know a lot of people whose their first marriages ended. It takes a lot of work. Work is hard. We work all day. We go to work. We come home and have to work on our relationship. We have to work on the house. We have to work on the yard. We're constantly working, and sometimes we try to maybe not work as hard as we want to because of all the other places we're working or how hard it is. And sometimes we need to prioritize, which doesn't always seem to happen. So a little early for this, but I'm going to throw it out there to you guys on the show and to the chat right now for the question of the night that goes along with our article. What do you think of today's day and age where divorce is such a common solution to marital problems? What are some things that you do, things that you think people could do to help with not getting divorced or maybe lowering that divorce rate? And one of the things that I've strongly been thinking about is making sure that, yeah, I didn't get it right the first time, but I really want to show my kids that good relationships can happen. And I think that's really important to show our children and youth of today who maybe come from divorced families or around divorce, been through divorce, that relationships can last. And it does take a personal responsibility and a responsibility of your partner to do so. So easy nowadays it is to toss in the towel. No one really works at their relationships anymore. It's so much easier just to go through the paperwork and be done with it. Now, back in the day, that wasn't the case. Again, divorce rates are as high as they used to be. What scares me a little bit is the statistics that I've found. 60% of second marriages also end in divorce. That's a much higher number than the first, but I think that's because they have been through it. Now, we're going to talk about the title a little bit. Fear is there. So is it the fear of getting divorced or the fear of not being able to work through it? Like, that all plays factor too. I want to know what you guys think. I'm so glad to see some more people jumping on. Hi, John. Hi, my wife. Thank you so much for being here. Justin's still on, I hope. I'm so glad you guys were able to join me. Hopefully you guys like the new light. I added a light to the show, hopefully, so you guys can see me a little better. Make sure you guys share this real quick. Let's see if we can get some more people on. I know it's different on a Tuesday. Make sure you guys go ahead in the upper right-hand corner, hit the three buttons there or hit the bell. Make sure you guys turn on your notifications so you know every time I go live. This way you guys won't miss a show. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you so much for coming and joining tonight. We're talking about our news article at the moment. In regards to what was posted for the show, the news article for the show, in regards to Lenny Kravitz and saying his ex-wife's new husband, they get along, they have a beautiful relationship, and how wonderful it is, but it took work to get there. So if you guys read it, let me know what you guys think in the chat about that article itself. It is a really good article about putting in work and about what it takes and how we should be showing our youth how strong relationships could really be. Now, again, I want to touch base that it takes effort on all parties. If you have one party that doesn't show effort or doesn't try, that's difficult because one party's trying and one's not. That's super frustrating, right? So it takes everybody involved. And when one decides not to, that's where breakdown happens. Hi, Jared. Thanks so much for coming to the show. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I know, Jerry, he said you could write paragraphs on this topic. That's awesome. I know you could, and that's really, I'm glad you're here so you can help contribute. I really do want to know what you guys think because, I, again, come from a divorced family with blended families and things like that. I call my stepmom Mom. She was always a great mother to me and showed me love as a mom. It doesn't take blood to be a mother or a father. And, sometimes there is a real positive when divorce happens and there's kids involved. You do get that extended family kind of thing where you get people to come into your life that are great. And your family it can grow, and it can grow exponentially very quickly, which is really great. So there is a lot of positive out of it. But what I'm really wanting to focus here on, too, which is what the question of the night is what do you think we can do in this day and age to either help our youth not continue to raise that divorce rate, which is so high these days, or what should we be doing as well to kind of keep our own marriages, from hitting those marks? Again, I have some facts here that, again, come from McKinleyIrvin.com, which is a law firm that collected a bunch of facts about divorce. You can go fact check me there. But they say 42 to 45% of first marriages end in divorce, almost 50%. 60% of second marriages end in divorce, which that's even higher. And I would assume it's because that fear is gone of what divorce is like. 73% of third marriages end in divorce. And my assumption is because that's a pattern. What do you guys think? And then, of course, one divorce every 36 seconds happens. Every 36 seconds a divorce happens. That's nearly 2,400 divorces a day. Whew. That's a big number. Let me know what you guys think, but I am like, that's a lot of people. A lot of marriages going through divorce. No wonder lawyers can charge so much. There's an endless supply of demand there in regards to needing them. So the average length of everybody's first marriage is about 8 years. Mine didn't make it that long, but that's the average length of the first marriage. Now, so there's a breakdown there. The work that it takes to keep relationships alive sometimes fizzles off, and we need to keep priority of those things. What we'll do sometimes, we'll let our daily lives get in the way. We'll let our work get in the way, and that's difficult. So let's go to chat. Let me see what you guys are saying. Justin chimes in here. Make sure the person you ask to marry is the one. I would hope most people do. That's totally true. I was told that growing up. That's why I haven't been married yet. It's good. You're making conscious choices. That's really good. It sounds like you had sound advice from parents and people that you looked up to, which is really important, and I feel like we need to continue to do that with youth today. Jaron chimes in. It starts at the outset. Too often people aren't honest with themselves about what they bring or don't bring to the relationship. They are selfish, lack compassion, compassionate, non-communicative. Then brings this into the marriage. With this weight, it leads to arguments, stubbornness, and then divorce, which is very true. And again, this is where the work comes in. Thanks so much, Jared and Justin, for chiming in. Those are both really great comments and adding to the show. That is very extremely true. Stubbornness, non-self-reflecting, non-mindfulness of your own tribulations and errors, which we all have, and we have a hard time pointing the finger in the mirror. Selfishness, all of these things contribute to the breakdown of relationships. And this is part of why Carlock Confessions is what it is and what I'm trying to do and help and bring positiveness, mindfulness, and self-awareness, is to help understand that we have to be our best selves and present our best selves and treat people the way we want to be treated, with respect, dignity, and honesty, and self-worth, to keep those things alive. If you don't respect your partner or the person you're with, there's no way your relationship will continue to exist. Respect means honesty. Honesty with yourself and honesty with your partner. Honesty in your marriage. Honesty and trust. These are backbones, communication to marriages. Making sure that person is the one is known by communicating. You have to be able to communicate and think, man, I want to be able to talk to this person for the rest of my life. Marriages are so quick to be dissolved these days, and it hurts my heart because it hurts the kids involved. I am a product of divorce myself. I've been through it. It's tough. Tough as a kid. Good things can come out of it. They have for me. It took a while to understand that. As parents, we have to understand that The relationships and the people we bring in our kids' lives is important. How we address those, how do we have them, the examples we show are all important. So let me know what you guys think. I thought this was a good topic. It was a good article. Again, I've been there, I've done that, I've been through it. So if you guys have any questions or anything you want to ask as well, please feel free to do so in chat. Happy to help answer them. But it can be tough. Blended families is much more of a common thing now. Coexisting with kids and single moms and single dads are out there. We all want love. We got to be careful, though. We have to choose the right people. Communication, trust, self-awareness, all of these things, mindfulness are all important in regards to doing these things. So, Jared chimes in again. He's going to plug his brother's book. He's a family relationship psychologist. I'm happy to plug this for your brother. His book is a self-reflective and entitled Would You Marry You? It's on Amazon. Thanks for putting the link in there. I'm 100% giving permission for you to plug the book. Thank you for chiming in on it. Clearly, he's more of an expert and has more information on this. So if you guys please go ahead and click on that. Click on the link. Let's support Jared's brother in regards to this. I'm 100% giving permission for Jared to promote his brother and his book. These are the things that we need to be aware of. I think fear plays a factor. And if you guys look at the title of the show tonight, is fear good or bad? Let's talk about that in this regards to this topic. I think fear is good. When people are afraid to get divorced and go through the process, maybe they'll put the work in to keep that marriage going. Fear is bad when you're using fear to control you to lie. People lie out of fear sometimes. Afraid of getting caught, afraid of the shame, afraid of the disappointment it'll bring, right? So fear can be good and bad at the same time, and that's kind of why the title of this is, and we're going to get into that a little bit more during my confession and open topic time, which is coming up here a little bit in the show. But I want to know what you guys think in regards to the marriage and divorce rates and all that kind of stuff. So some of the topics and things that I got as well are some of the facts. These are facts that decrease the likelihood of divorce, and I want to put that out there real quick and let me know what you guys think as well. People who wait to marry or cohabitate until after they're over the age of 23 are less likely to get divorced. And part of the reason of that fact is most people, by the time they're 23 and up there, have had a chance and opportunity to be on their own, self-sufficient, and get to know who they are and who they want to be as a person. That's something that's super important. You don't want to lose that. If you lose that in a marriage, or you feel like that's being drawn or pulled away from you, that's one of the things that can lead to divorce. So, yeah, Jared, please, if you can get him to chime in, that would be super great. I would love to have him come on into the show and give some expert advice. I would love that. One of the things I'd like to do is eventually start having guests on my show. So that would be something I'd love to do, is have him on in and have him chime in. So if you can do that, that'd be great. Thank you so much. Another thing that I found that decreases the likelihood of divorce, though, if you've attended college, your risk of divorce decreases by 13%. Not a big percent, but it is there. And the reason for that being as well, if we want to dive into that a little bit, is self-education and being educated. Having that self-worth of being able to attend college and know what that brings can also help as well. I've seen arguments and had arguments of certain levels that involve education and self-worth, and if people have it or not. If you don't love yourself, you have a hard time loving others. People who attend college tend to love themselves more. They've made that effort and commitment. They say if you have a baby after getting married, at least 7 months after, your risk of divorce actually decreases by 24%. Kids do, I think, can help with marriages. They bring love. They're pride. There's so much to say about that. We've discussed that. Finance. You're less likely to divorce if your annual income is over $25,000. Money is the number one reason people argue. Money is the number one reason people are frustrated and get upset. We spend more time on work and working and focusing on work to try to combat that money issue. And we pull away from our marriage sometimes, or our relationship. We don't always prioritize right. One of the things I always think we should do is prioritize our kids, number one, and our relationship as number 1/number 2. Those two things should always be the most important. Now, I realize work and things get in the way, but we have to come back and think about that. If you've made that commitment to spend a lifetime with somebody, it takes work. And putting that work in is worth it. Let me know what you guys think. Again, join in on the chat. Kara joins in. The name of the book makes me feel like I should definitely read it. It may be eye-opening. I'm sure it is. I'm going to take a look into this book, Jared. Thanks so much for promoting it and sharing it from your brother, James. I look forward to seeing it. It's a perfect title. That what I pulled directly from the title of that book that you posted. Would You Marry You? Self-love, self-reflection, reflecting yourself and how you would be in a marriage, how you treat your significant other is how you would want to be treated yourself. All of these things I'm sure are touched on, I would assume, in this book as well. Would love to hear from your brother, and maybe we'll have him if he can't be a guest on the show tonight. Maybe we'll have him as a guest going forward in the show at a future show. But these are important things. And would you marry yourself? That's a great question. Kara, I think we should get the book, and I think we will read it. Let me know. So, again, let me know what you guys think in the chat. It does sound exciting. And, again, last fact that I have in regards to the decreasing the divorce rate. If your parents are happily married or you're seeing a happy marriage, the risk of divorce for you as your child decreases by at least 14% because they have something to model after. That's the concern I have here. So much divorce and it's such at a high rate these days that our children are seeing the examples of how easy it is to toss in the towel on relationships. We need to put the work in. We need to show them good examples of good relationships. So that's kind of where I'm at here on this. And I want to make sure that is out there. Putting the work in is key. It's never easy, as the article states. It's not easy to have that work. You have to put your differences aside, your pride, your jealousy. Resolve the issues and don't bring them back up. If there's been a solution to a problem, let that solution live and stay. And again, the last thing I really want to say on this is it really does take work, and it really does take each party involved. It takes their effort to get to that point, and that's the tough part. If you have one party that lacks effort, it makes things difficult to make it a cohesive relationship. John chimes in, stop showing stupid shows on TV like Bachelorette and Bachelor. I totally agree. They promote, and that's another negative media outlet these days, that promotes sex and negativity. They make being single look fun, and they make being single look like a party. That's the promotion. The negative promotion they show in the media these days is that divorce is good and being single is fun and real. It's not all that it's cracked up to be. Been there, done that. Thanks, John. That's a great point. Thanks for chiming in on that. That's very awesome. Jared says, waiting until after 25 to get married, check. Attended college, check. Waited to have first child a year after marriage, check. Looks like you checked a lot of these off. That's awesome. So many issues must be discussed with each person before getting married. Communication with each other. Achieves as many of your goals in advance. It's a partnership. Have tough conversations in advance. Absolutely. You're going to have tough conversations. If you can't have a tough conversation before married, maybe you shouldn't get married. It's one of the check marks. I love it. These are great checks. Thanks so much for chiming in on that. Money is always a factor. That's why we haven't separated bank accounts. True, money is always a factor. So money is an issue and will always continue to be an issue no matter what. It's the number one thing that everybody argues about. Finances is tough. If you have money, or don't have money. It is something that's the biggest argument in everybody's relationship. I personally want to put it out there that is the number one thing that I think every person that gets married or is thinking about getting married should discuss. Finances, how to do finances, how you look at your finances, all of that, money in, money out, needs to be discussed. It's one of the number one things. Let's see. Jared chimes in on that. Absolutely. I'm so glad you guys are continuing the conversation in chat. That's exactly what that's for. That's what this show is all about. All right. So with all that said, guys, I have gone over time now because this has been such a great conversation. So I want to move into open discussion for the night. Let's stay on task here for the show. Let me know what you guys think. You can always continue the chat, the discussion in the chat as well. That is open to you guys. But let's move into the open discussion confession time. And this is one of the things I want to bring up here, a little bit more to the title of the show tonight, which is about fear. So one of the things I want to switch topics here a little bit about is this show. I've been having some fear about it, so I want to make a confession. It's confession time. I've been having doubts about this show a little bit. It's been actually based on fear. The doubt about and the fear that I've been having is the success and if this show is actually going to be successful, if I am making a difference, and if this is something that is going to be enjoyable, not just for me, but everybody involved. My goal when I set out to do this was to make a change in people's lives. Make a change in this world in regards to combating the negative outlets of media, all the media outlets out there promoting sex and negativity. I wanted something in that media to promote positiveness, to bring people together, to help bring change that is a positive change, not negative. Because again, there's so many negative contributions in media outlets these days, and it scares me. It scares me, and fear can either be good or bad. I'm going to try to choose to make this fear drive me to push this thing further. I can't say I haven't had doubt about shutting Carlock Confessions down. I want this to be successful. This show brings me joy. Hopefully you guys enjoy it too. The fact that you're here tonight and are on the show makes me happy, and it actually shows that maybe things are headed in the right direction. But I have fear, and fear can be good or bad. If we let fear control us, if we let fear determine the decisions that we make, that could be a negative thing, and I need to be able to understand that. So again, the doubts that I have, though, I think are from fear about not being successful here. I want to bring people together. I want to show people that treating people the way you want to be treated is the key. And the media outlets that are out there now don't do that. So the only way that I think that positive change is going to happen is if this channel continues to grow. The more people that we can get involved to see what positive things on media can be like, I think the better we can combat the negativities that are out there that are used for clickbait. Clickbait is things that media outlets use, like sex and violence, to try to draw people to their outlet. I'm trying to use positiveness to draw people to my outlet, to this community. Please, I'm asking you to share and like this page. Let's get as many people as we can to build this community, because I am afraid that this outlet will be crushed by the negativity that's out there. It's a fear I have. That's the confession for tonight. I don't want to crush this. I don't want this to be crushed by the negative things out there. I love this show. I love the message. I love what you guys bring and contribute to it, which is why I started the YouTube page as well, to get it out there. Let me know what you guys think. What I'm thinking here is I want to know what you guys feel about Carlock Confessions. One of the reasons why I've been having this fear is because the challenge that I put out last week didn't really get accepted, which I get it. It might have been a harder challenge. It was about memories, which is what we'll be discussing in the next segment of the show, which is coming up here in the next couple of minutes. But there wasn't a lot of outreach in regards to it. We had a couple responses. I responded. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Sometimes it's hard to get to. I know we're busy. Let's go to that. Jared chimes in. Keep at it. You're doing a good job with this forum. Fear is good. A good thing because it can help you focus and celebrate. The time to evaluate this is after a year. You know what? I think thanks, Jared. I appreciate that. That's good advice. I really do. I'm going to give you some applause for that. Maybe a year is a good time to reevaluate. I keep adding to it. I try to keep making it better. I'm bringing lighting, better cameras, trying to figure out ways to make this a better show. If you guys have ideas on segments that can be better, my wife brought up one. Maybe I need to bring a little more humor to this show, which I'd love to do. I'm funny, but I'm funny with other people. So I'm thinking about having some guests on the show. I got to figure out how I'm going to work that in. But my fear is I do want this to be successful. There are not, in fact, there is very, very few positive outlets out there in the media these days. And I really do want to see more positiveness out there. And so let me know what you guys think about that. John chimes in, how long have you been doing this? Not everything takes off immediately, which is also true, John. It doesn't. It doesn't take off immediately. I haven't been doing it super long. It hasn't been since April. But I have always had high expectations for myself and set high goals. Not a bad thing. I'm just, I guess, afraid of failure. That's fear. And that's a good fear probably because I don't want to fail. Nobody likes failing, but we learn from our failures. And what I'm trying to do is learn from this as well. What segments do you guys think work or don't work? Should there be other different segments? Let me know what you guys think because you guys are creative as well. I love your guys' advice and I appreciate it. Let's see. Jared says, hey, do you attend church or belong to a group? Are you promoting it in those venues? I don't currently. But it is a good place. I am starting to promote it on YouTube a little bit, on a couple of the positive channels I've been able to find there. I should, and that would be a great avenue to research and going to target the people that already bring good and positiveness into their life with their religion and believing in God and all of that. So that's a great idea. That's not a bad idea to promote it there. I think that I might take you up on that. Thanks, Jared. That's really great advice. So thank you. Let me know what you guys think. Again, this is the open discussion time as well, so I'm glad you guys are chiming in and letting me know what you guys think. But again, if you guys like the show, if you guys think this is good, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think because, again, I've been having some fear about it. I really do want it to be successful. But, again, fear is what kept me from doing this to begin with. I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid of failure. I was afraid of doing this. And now I'm taking charge and I'm taking fear kind of and using it. I want to go be successful. So I've battled one. I guess I can battle another. And having you guys along for the ride, of course, is exactly what I'm hoping for. So again, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know. You guys are my biggest supporters, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. So. All right, so it's time now. Let's stay on track. We are on to last week's review of last week's challenge. I did post my video. I don't know if you guys saw it. My video was about my memory, and I posted it in the chat. If you guys haven't done it and would like to go back and do it, Jared, I didn't see that picture of Halle Berry on there. I was hoping you'd go on and put that on there for me. Go ahead and post on the Facebook page a memory of yours. My mom did it, Sue did it, and it was a great memory, and I really got a lot of joy out of it, and I could tell when what she wrote brought her joy as well. That was the point of the challenge, was to get you to kind of think about a memory and bring joy for you for even that moment of posting on the page. It brought me joy to do it. Did you guys like my video? Let me know what you guys think. Going to go ahead and pop over here to chat. John chimes in. I think the time frame can be difficult being late at night. Our age group have kids and are in bed early. I've thought about maybe changing times. Let me know what times work. I was thinking maybe a 9:30 to 10:30. Problem is scheduling for me as well and being able to be on. Justin chimes in. I really enjoy the show, bud. You're doing a great job. Thanks. Always good love, positive feedback. Hi, Holly. Thanks for coming on. Jared, when you went on your trip, did you have business cards to promote the website? I did, actually. I did get a couple. I don't have business cards, but I was able to promote the trip or promote the site. I should make business cards about the show. Also, keep in mind, not everyone is on social media late. That's true. I do know I get a lot of views after the show, but you guys make the show, so the more people on, the better off it is. I am thinking about trying to get some T-shirts made. I'm also thinking about trying to find some other avenues to promote. Again, that's why YouTube is out there. If you guys use YouTube, please click on the link. It is in the Facebook page. Subscribe to the channel. As you subscribe and subscribers build, more people will find me on YouTube as well. So if you guys can do that, I really appreciate it. And again, it does fall back on the Carlock community, Confessions community, to share this page with your friends and try to get as many people to view it as possible. So let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate your guys' support. All right, so back to what we have here is last week's challenge was to share a favorite memory on Carlock Confessions Facebook page so others could see it. Often we will have experience that last and resonate with us, which is why they come into our memories. And they were special. The challenge was to take a moment, remember one of them, and then share it with the Carlock Confessions community. And the whole point of that was to kind of refill your tanks a little bit, to kind of give that great feeling of that memory to everybody else, and share those types of things, which you should do, because those are things that were important to you. Those are things that resonate with you and bring you joy. Mine was about going up north and spending time with my brothers and my family, and camping and spending time in the woods, and just being a kid and spending time at the lake and fishing and swimming. And, you know, I look back at those times, and because my son just went camping with one of his great friends, and so thankful for the Talon family for taking him camping on their family trip. Those are the times that, you know, I wish I wouldn't have taken for granted so much as a kid. But of course, as a kid, we don't know that we're taking them for granted, I guess. If there's one piece of advice I give to my children is enjoy the moments that you have today as children, because you'll look back on those and you'll miss them. You know, you wish you would have appreciated them a little more. So, but that was my memory, and it was so fun to be able to go truck through the woods and play hide and seek, and you know, climb trees and do those things with my brothers and my family, and sit around a campfire and make s'mores and get dirty, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Those were great times. And you know, kids nowadays are stuck on social media, stuck on their phones, stuck on their iPads and Xboxes and PlayStations and computers, and I don't see that as much, and it is something that I think is taken for granted nowadays, and I appreciated those days. Those are my memories. So if you guys have memories you could share, you can always carry over last week's challenge to this week as well. If you guys would like to share yours on the Carlock Confessions page, please do so. I had a post on there. I posted a video. You guys can go check that out. It's also on the YouTube page as well. Let me know what you guys think. With that said, let's move into this week's weekly challenge. Drum roll, please. Make sure you guys do it. This week's challenge is a good one. I really like this week's. I'm going to be doing this to a couple of people because I have quite a few friends I like to consider as my best friends. But this week's weekly challenge, take your best friend and I want you to text them. I want you to text them 3 things that you're grateful for in regards to them. Maybe things that they've done, or things that they've done to help change your life, or how they are, or their sense of humor. But what I want you to do is I want you to text it, because texting is so big these days. We sometimes have a hard time communicating. But what I want you to do is be very specific about this one. What I want you to do is I want you to text your best friend. And I know life is busy, but take 2 minutes and do so. Text multiple friends if you want, if you get the opportunity, and just text them 3 things that you appreciate or are grateful for in regards to them. That's the challenge this week. I want to know what you guys think about it. I enjoy this challenge. I'm going to do this. I'm going to text a few of my friends about this, because we don't always do that. We don't always take the time or take a moment to tell the people that we appreciate them, especially our best friends at times. We just expect for them to know it, and maybe they do, but it is always good to hear it. So that's the challenge. Let me know what you guys think. That's the challenge for the week. I like it. And then next week, what I want to do is, if you guys would be willing to, I'd like for you guys to be willing to share who your best friend is and what you sent them. And I'd really appreciate that. And I think they would appreciate hearing it. And I think that what it does is it shows kind of the connection that you have with your friend to the community here on Carlock Confessions. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you guys give me a thumbs up in the chat, let me know if you guys accept the challenge and what you think of it. Jared chimes in. I'm going to save the Hallie for later. I'm a little sad about that. A favorite memory was making a treehouse with my father and my best friend. It was up in a large tree, and I used to go there as a child to read comic books, eat snacks, and simply chill out. None of my friends had that. Also, a few friends had a basketball court, and I enjoyed practicing basketball and playing half-court hoops. Some of my friends still talk about the experiences coming to my house. That's fantastic. Now, what resonated that to me was the experiences that you had. And that resonates with me. I played a lot of basketball as a kid with my friends as well. Some of the greatest times I had in my life as a kid was playing basketball with my friends. Pickup games, playing, and enjoying that with my brother and being able to do that kind of stuff. Those are great memories. And your memory just made me think of my memory. And the whole treehouse thing I love. It makes me think of Alfalfa and the gang and how they have their club and all that kind of stuff. And, it's such a great time in a boy's life to be able to do that, have a place to go enjoy their comics. Thank you, Jared, for chiming in and putting that out there. I really enjoyed that. That's the type of stuff I was looking for, because not only does that, I feel like, help maybe refill your tank, but it refilled mine as well. Made me think about those times. And I don't always think back on those, but that helped resonate with me. So thank you for doing that. And that was the reason for the challenge last week. Hopefully you guys see that. This week's challenge, again, is important, and I think it's a good one. Again, text your friends, your best friend. This is very specific. I want you to text your best friend 3 things that you're grateful for in regards to them, or things that they bring to your guys' relationship as best friends. And text that to them and let them know that. Because, again, we will always assume that they know that, but they may not always know that. So let me know what you guys think of that challenge. I think it's a good one, and I'm going to do that. There's a couple of best friends I'm going to reach out to. And, I hope I get a couple of text messages as well. That would be great. So let me know what you guys think. All right, so let's go back now. This segment of the show is one that I really do like a lot. This is the one that I appreciate. This is the positive personal recap or reflection of the week. This is where I go back and reflect on the week and try to look at the positives and kind of share those with you guys. And sometimes it's a positive quote that I found, but this week is another positive reflection of what happened this week. And I want to know what you guys think. And I'm happy to share this with you. We had a lot that came through Michigan this past week, and they were strong. We had high winds. A lot of people lost power. A lot of trees down. A lot of limbs came down. And there was a lot of debris and a lot of chaos from it. And one of the things that came out of this was, and again, this was in my surrounding area. Just shout out, hope everybody made it okay out of that. But there was a lot of damage. My wife's grandmother, very old, still with us, so happy she's with us and blessed. She had some large trees and limbs come down in her yard and driveway, and I was able to take our son, my stepson, over there, and we were help clean it up with my in-laws. And it was a big job, and it was a tough one. It took a lot of effort and chainsawing and working and hot and heat and heavy working, and it fell in her driveway, and she was unable to do anything herself due to her age and her strength and all that kind of stuff. And my in-laws, they don't, they have their own limitations as well. And it was great for me and for my son to come out and to be able to help and give back and to help those who are unable to help themselves. And we did it out of love. We love her. She's an amazing woman. She's our, it was just a really proud moment to be able to share that with him. And it was part of being the change, to help others that can't help themselves, to treat people the way we want to be treated. In this time of need, we were able to go and do that. And to me, this was something that I really appreciated having my son there to do and to show and to work hard and to push through and to know that what we were doing was being helpful. And I think he understood that. And at a point, my mother-in-law offered to buy us lunch for doing it. And one of the messages that I shared with my son was, as great as that was as an offer, we declined. Because as great as lunch would have been, and we were hungry, the reward for this is knowing that we helped my grandmother-in-law and his great-grandmother, and doing something for her that she couldn't do for herself. And we know that she was proud and happy and was happy to see us and happy for us to do that. And those are one of those scenarios and memories that I'm going to keep with me forever, and I hope my son does too. Doing things like that is what Carlock Confessions is kind of about. It's what I'm about. It's about what this channel is about. Helping others and being there and doing positive things for one another. Now, it was hard work. I'm still sore from doing it. When I left there, I know I left with a feeling of satisfaction and pride. And just knowing that I was able to share that with him was a great thing. So that was my personal reflection from the week. It was great to share that with him. I think he got it too. Now, I'll let you know, I took him out for ice cream afterwards. He definitely earned it. But it was a great thing to share, and for him to be able there to be helpful and to help me with it and to help his grandparents with us and his great-grandma. So Jaron chimes in, because I'm traveling Thursday for Dallas for several days, I don't want to miss out on the next challenge. I'm doing it now for the best friends of 30 years. Wife, I text her that I appreciate that she is always encouraging me no matter what. That's a good one. She is trying to better herself both personally and professionally. That's great. And she's been doing more volunteer work, such as helping the church. All things to be proud of. That is a great example. Thank you for posting that, Jared. Thank you for accepting and doing the challenge for this week and already posting about it. It's a great example. Everybody who's on and everybody who just heard me read that, that's a great example of things that we can do and text for our best friends. So I'm highly asking that you guys do that. I think it's going to be a great challenge. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thank you, Jared, for doing that. I applaud you. Thank you so much, sir. One more update I want to give here on the personal recap. Again, I'm giving blood scheduled for August 6th. Jared's a big blood donor. There is still a blood shortage here in Michigan, so I want to give the challenge out as well. This is a separate challenge that I keep issuing every week until I hear that we have kind of conquered this battle of a blood shortage here in Michigan. I'm asking everybody, if you can, please donate blood. The Michigan blood banks right now are very low. They continue to be low, and one donation can save lives, many lives. So please go out and donate blood if you can. And again, if you're not in Michigan and you get the opportunity to do so, it is a great way of giving back and being the change as well. Trying to help others who are unable to be helped or help themselves is one way to do that. So again, that's part of being the change, and that's the message here for Carlock Confessions. So again, I'm scheduled for the 6th. I plan on doing an update, either in a live update or a photo or video of that as well. But if you guys go and give blood, please let us know. Please let me know how you guys continue to be the change. All right, so with that said, that is pretty much the show, guys. Real quick, want to do a recap. Let me know what you guys think. Recapping the show for the night. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get our music going. Thank you again so much to Babel for the music. Check him out as well. You can see him on YouTube. All right, here we go. Recap of the show of the night. It was a great show tonight. Thank you, guys. It was a great show because of you guys. Again, poll question we did. Results from last week's poll question. 83% of you preferred Apple over Android. We had the poll question of the night. Personal fact for you on this. In 1903, Ford Motor Company sold its first automobile, which was the Model A, on this day back in 1903. So are you a Ford person or a Chevy person? Age-old question here, definitely in Michigan. But I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. Go to the page. Make sure you guys go ahead and post on there what your choice is for the poll. That'll be up for about another 6 more days. We talked about the news article that was posted for the week about Lenny Kravitz. It says his ex-wife's husband, Jason Momoa, big star right now, is like a brother and praises him. That brought up the topic of divorce and families and merged families and combined families and how important it is to kind of put the work into those relationships. And then kind of rolled into the topic of divorce and how the statistics nowadays show that divorce is higher than ever. And we really do need to put positive vibes out there and remember to try to make the effort to make those relationships work. So that was the topic in regards to the news. Then we had our open discussion. We talked a little bit about fear in regards to fear for me and about the success of this show and how fear can be good and can be bad. Fear was what kept me from doing the show to begin with. Now the fear is starting to creep back in and make me worry about the success of this show. I'm going to continue going on, though, with your guys' support. And then we review last week's challenge, which not a lot of you did. I'd appreciate it if you go and do the challenge. I think it was a good one because it does tap into your guys' memories and kind of resonates with all of us. And then the challenge for this week, text your best friend 3 things that you appreciate about them, so that way they know instead of it just being assumed. Let me know what you guys think about that. Again, if you guys can like and share this page, again, check me out on YouTube. Carlock Confessions, I hope, continues to grow. I do not want to see this fall off. I want to continue to see us combat the negativity with a positive avenue here and this positive outlet. So let me know what you guys think. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys continue to stay excited about it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for continuing to support this show. If you could like and share this page so we can continue to grow the Carlock Confessions community, I'd really appreciate it. And again, this show is about positiveness, but this show is hosted by me, but it's for you, and it's because of you this show exists. So again, go out there, continue to be the change, post on the Facebook page, go check us out on YouTube. I can't wait till next week for another great show. We'll be on Tuesday, so make sure you guys turn on those notifications. And guys, thank you again. Have a great night. Thank you so much from Carlock Confessions, from me, Frank Fanzoni, and the rest of us. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much.